Alright guys, for this next one, this is 1B on your Chapter 18 and 19 quiz. In general, describe the effect that increasing the sample size has on the interval for a 90% confidence interval. For this, I'm going to use this little applet. Hopefully it'll give you a good idea. Up here I've set the confidence level at 0.9, just like in our problem. What I want to show you though is what increasing the sample size does. Hopefully this will give you an idea. With a really small sample size, you can see down here this green line indicates basically what our interval is going to be. You can see our interval is going to be relatively large. So if someone's asking you to give them an estimate of where that true proportion might fall, giving them a large interval with 90% confidence isn't necessarily helpful. You can see this interval goes from 24% to 96%. And within the context of this problem, like if they asked you, hey, I want an estimate for the percentage of the labor force that's female in the U.S., well, giving them a confidence interval that looks like this, it goes from 24% to 96%, isn't necessarily that helpful. So what we want to do is, with smaller sample sizes, our intervals can't be very accurate. But as we increase that sample size, you can see the interval kind of starts to shrink as we get more and more samples. Or I'm sorry, as our sample increases. So again, just to reiterate, smaller sample sizes are not really going to allow us to be that accurate or precise. And as we shrink, as we increase the sample size, you can see that interval, the width of that interval is going to shrink and allow us to be a little bit more precise with our estimate for where that proportion might fall. So going back here, talking about the effect that increasing the sample size has on the interval for a 90% confidence interval. And we would say something to the effect of increasing the sample size is going to narrow the interval and allow us to be more precise with our estimate.